This week on Performance TV, it's a performance overhaul. Dave shows us how to increase our horsepower and gas mileage, as well as installing some headers from Third Strike. But before that, Kathy shows us the easier way to maintain our bike and boat engines. All of this next on Performance TV.
Hey, thanks for joining us this week on Performance TV. We don't care just about the big motors and big horsepower. Well, we care about the small engines too, whether it's watercraft and so much more, about performance, about being able to do our maintenance, and that's why we brought in Dan from WSM Performance Parts. Dan, let's just hop right in and talk about the engine kits that you guys have.
Yeah, thanks for having us. Yeah, so we offer a complete engine kit. Comes with everything you would need to rebuild your outboard engine for one part number.
Okay, well, let's say, we've had a little problem with the block. We need to bore it out. I'm not going to be able to just call up anybody and get a kit for that.
No, we offer a complete kit, different sizes. We offer all different sizes, pistons. The kit comes complete with gaskets, piston, everything you need, bearings to do your whole engine.
One part number.
One part number.
One phone call. I absolutely love that. This is just some of the items here that you have for watercraft. You even have the fuel air separators.
Yeah, so this is a fuel separator, fuel water separator.
Fuel water separator.
Yeah, we have this. We also have our intercooler. And
yeah, because you have your personal watercraft out in the salt water. You're going to be washing that off, cleaning it up because the salt water corrodes. It's going to corrode your cooling system too, but you've taken care of that.
Yeah, everybody knows that salt water is very bad for engines and all parts. So with our intercooler, you can hook your garden hose right up to it and flush it out, and now you don't have that problem anymore.
Okay, another problem too is when we want to get back out on the water instead of spending time in the engine shop, when we have to repair our personal watercraft.
Yeah, so the jet pump, if you have to repair your jet pump, normally you would have to buy all the parts individual. You'd have to have a press the bearing in. With ours, it's one complete jet pump, one part number, bolt it in and go back on the water.
Well, you guys got a lot of simple stuff like that, just one part number. Yeah, get out of the machine shop, don't worry about pressing that bearing and get back out on the water. That's what we spend money on these things for. There are some problems that you found with some items over the years, and it's this part right here, but you guys have solved that.
Yeah, so we sell a cylinder kit, and it comes with the power valve. And on a lot of parts, the power valve, OEM parts, the power valve can fall out. We have a mechanism right here, and it will hold the power valve in.
Oh, boy, that's going to save a lot. And so is this item.
Yeah, so that's a Nickel cylinder that we make. It's a WSM cylinder, and it comes complete kit for $800 or $1,200. And it is a piston, rings, pin and clip, cylinder, complete, again, one part number.
Oh my gosh, well, this is just scraping the surface of what you have at WSM Performance Parts. Well, what do you say, Dan? We hop out of the water and get over here on land where you have so many items as well for our dirt bikes and our ATVs, and these are just a few of them.
Yeah, so like the water, we have a complete Athena cylinder kit. It's a big bore kit, and it comes complete with a cylinder, piston, gaskets, complete kit, again, one part number.
Okay, and what about, working with some of the computer stuff, because it's pretty much everything that we're buying nowadays all has some kind of computer controlling it.
Yeah, so with the Git ECU, it's a complete replacement ECU to a stock one. You just plug it in, and you can actually tune it from any smart device.
Really? So you guys have your own app and everything that you've built?
Yep, you go to the website, you download the app's free, and you can change perimeters on your ECU on the app.
Okay, well, let's talk about some of those perimeters. What would we be looking to change?
You can change fuel and ignition timing as well as the rev limiter. So in the old days, it was a carburetor and you had to change jetting. Nowadays, you can just do it from your phone or your iPad or anything like that.
So we see some of the models here. What all models are you guys building stuff for?
We have everything from the two-stroke side to the current four-stroke models on ATV and off-road. So going back all the way into the early 90s, all the way to current bikes.
Okay, so you're covering all manufacturers?
All manufacturers. Everything from KTM, Husqvarna, Kawasaki, and all the Japanese brands.
And that's probably pretty much the same thing with your water side of things too?
Yes, on the water side and PWC, we cover all the brands. not anything specific.
Well, whether you're playing in the water or you're playing on land, WSM Performance Parts has something for you to increase the performance or just keep it going. Want to find out more? Hop on their website at WSMparts.com. We'll have more for you up next here on Performance TV.
This edition of Performance TV is being brought to you by EVAPO-RUST, Super Safe Rust Remover. Evans Waterless Engine Coolant, the solution to overheating and corrosion. Bora, the world's most winning exhaust. And by Dustless Blasting, it's the future of surface preparation.
Hey, welcome back to Performance TV. And as the name says, we are into performance. So how about a little more horsepower, a little more torque out of our Dodge Hemi truck that we have? So we're going to install a JBA performance exhaust system and run new exhaust all the way back. We're going to start off with some long tube headers. They're ceramic coated, CNC flanges. It comes with everything that you need for the kit, right down to your new O2 sensor hookups. And we're even going to top it off, do it right the first time, with our Stage 8 locking fasteners. Now this is the driver's side, but Dave, he's already got started on the passenger side.
JBA headers have a lot of advantages. With me is Dwayne from Third Strike Performance to tell us about some of those.
Okay, well these are specifically designed for the 09 up Dodge Rams. You notice they got a solid 3/8 inch flange all the way around versus some of the cheaper headers which have multi-pieces and they're thin, they warp real easy. These won't warp that easy. Then you got an additional welding around the circumference of the exhaust opening, so it puts more pressure against the gasket, give you a better seal. It also has notches at the bottom of it, so you can put the bolts in the block and slide the header down on it. And the good thing about it is the gaskets that come with it have the exact same feature, so you can hang the header, slide the gasket in there, and put your top bolts in and tighten everything up. You're good to go.
All right, well, let's get this in there.
All right, let's do it.
Coming at you.
The slots in here allow you to slide the header down over the bolts easier.
Let's get this top here.
Oh, don't use much.
I notice it's got ceramic covering on it.
Yep.
It's inside and outside, right?
Yes, to reduce the heat from the thing.
Yeah.
Now, we're fixing to put the Stage 8 bolts in here. The Stage 8 bolts, they got a locking mechanism on them, keep the bolts from backing out. And they're made out of stainless. Anytime you put stainless bolts into aluminum, you want to put a little anti-seize on them, keep them from galding up and seizing up inside there. So you just put a little dab on there and screw it in.
All right. Now, I've seen a lot of headers coated on the outside, but I haven't seen many coated on the inside.
Now, these are new from JBA. Where's the rest of the bolts?
Oh, they're right there. And you've got headers, and you've got a lot of different products, don't you?
Yes, sir. We carry virtually anything there out there made for Dodge Rams, Fords, Chevys, whatever. If it's not on our website, just give me a call. We'll find it for you.
And what years you cover mainly?
Usually, most of the stuff we carry from like 96 up because the older stuff is getting so hard to find. It's almost, and there's especially websites out there that designed specifically for that kind of stuff. So it's kind of hard to compete with somebody that's been established in that field for 30 years. There we go. You got one more there.
All right.
I think.
There you go. I might be able to get that easier for you. So we're just going to lightly snug these up a little by little. You don't want to grab just one and torque it down because you might warp it, right?
Yeah, you start from the center and go out just like you do on a head or a wheel or anything else.
Yeah, I'm going to need to borrow your wrench when you get done there, if you don't mind.
Really need a torque wrench to torque them to. I'm going to start tightening these up here in the middle.
Okay. You torque these down to 18 pounds?
Well, it doesn't really specify on these. I've always just found that you tie them down as tight as you can get them, and it usually works good.
All righty. Let me borrow that boy, and I'll get this guy on the bottom here for us.
Well, the guys have a little bit to do to finish up the headers, and let me tell you what, they're really going to look nice when they're done. And that's just one of the things that you can find at thirdstrikeperformance.com. Whether you're into Chrysler or Chevys or Fords, they have all types of parts and accessories. You really need to check out their website. Even lots of collectibles and apparel. You might be surprised what you find, and you never know. You might be surprised what we have next here on Performance TV.
Welcome to the EVAPO-RUST Tip of the Week. Today we're going to talk about a common problem that people have when they're restoring antique or vintage automobile pieces and assemblies like these that have little nooks and crannies that are hard to get to.
Yeah, the assemblies that are really tough are the electrical assemblies. One like a headlight assembly. Here's one that we did. You can see that it is where it was rusted here before.
Yeah.
And we just dunked the whole thing into EVAPO-RUST. It'll eat the rust and leave everything else alone. You pull it out, spray it with dielectric cleaner, and it's off and going again.
Very nice.
Yeah, I'll show you another example here.
Okay. We've got a horn over here.
We'll pull the lid off this one.
Okay. The other one was rusty, and we just threw the whole thing in there. And since EVAPO-RUST is safe on other metals, copper, tin, and also plastic and rubber, it is easy and safe to use.
You can see the inside of it here is completely de-rusted. We just threw the whole thing in, even with the lid on it. You pull it out, you rinse it with water, spray it down with dielectric cleaner, and
That got me a little bit.
yeah, get out of the road.
Yeah. Very cool, very cool.
Anyway, if you want to learn more about EVAPO-RUST, check out our website at EVAPO-RUST.com.
We'll be back with more Performance TV in just a minute.
Performance TV coming to you from Bora Commerce Park.
Welcome back to Performance TV. Wouldn't it be great to be able to get rid of all the plastic stuff that came on your 15 or newer Powerstroke with a 6.7 and be able to add 20 to 40 horsepower? And if you even add everything that we see here, how about up to 100 horsepower? We're going to do just that today, thanks to our friends at Nally Diesel Performance. We're going to be able to install what is kind of a combination of three different items here. We have two different kits, one being our intake kit. And everything you see here on the table, all 304 stainless. So you're not going to have to worry about any type of corrosion, right down to our clamps. Also, coming out of the intercooler right into the Y pipe, into the intake. And what you're going to have here is so much better flow than what you could ever get from the factory. Going to be able to top all of this off with a really cool programmer. So what do you say we get all of this installed and check in with Dave for more?
Thanks, Kathy. That's a good looking system. With me now is Rob from Nally Diesel to explain what we took off and why we're taking it off. Rob?
How you doing? What we have here is the factory upper and lower intake, as well as the factory charge air cooler. Multiple ports, multiple channels for the air to flow in. The new kit we're going to be installing, it's a much more direct flow, higher velocity, as well as much more reliable than this here pipe that we have a problem with blowing off factory, blowing off when it's programmed, and all different types.
Yeah, what do you expect from plastic, I guess? And so all of this, relatively speaking, is kind of replaced by just this, so to speak,
yeah,
on our intake. So we're getting rid of all of that. The size difference, how much bigger is this?
It's a full inch bigger. We have a 5-inch aluminum pipe here. It's a polished pipe from No Limit. And we're going to be putting a 5x14 AFE custom-made filter on there. It's going to speed up airflow, much more airflow. So we should be much better off once we're installed.
Cool. All right. Well, let's go and get installed.
Sounds good.
All right. All right. What's our first gig going on?
We are going to install the elbow going to the compressor housing and then put the cold air intake system on. Okay. So, you got anything I can spray on this boot?
Yeah, we got some blaster here. That works good. Now, we already took all this stuff off for simplicity, but it only takes like 15, 20 minutes for you to take this off? Half hour max, maybe?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. It's not nothing too painful. A couple swivel sockets, a couple basic ratchets, and it's about all you need.
All of that stuff that we took off is just going to be replaced by this intake right here. I'm just baffled by how much stuff they had in the way.
Yeah, it's definitely amazing. There's definitely no simplicity to the factory stuff. So what we're doing is much more simple and does nothing but benefit you.
right? The durability, no breaking plastic parts.
That's the biggest thing, because when the factory charge pipe blows out, it leaves you stranded, and you ain't kind of out of luck until you get towed somewhere.
And you ain't picking that baby up at no local parts store, are you?
Absolutely not. You're gonna go to Ford and pay a fortune for one.
Oh, man.
So we got that then.
All right, what do we get? That
Okay, this pipe right here.
You got it? And that bolts onto the
Yes, it does.
original manifold too. So
It's all
there's no-
supplied in the kit. It's all stainless hardware. Bolts right to one of the factory lower intake ports. Going up, tighten that all down.
Get this set up for you. Rust in there. So all this fits together really nice and easy, but the rubber sticks a little bit. So the blaster just makes it slide together a lot easier. What would you say? There's like 8 bolts on this thing, 10 bolts, and poof, we're done.
Something like that, yes, sir. Most of the clamps, a couple brackets, and that's all she wrote.
And I'm picking up 100 horsepower on this.
Yes, yeah, once you do the intake as well as the programmer, you can see at least 100 horsepower. 2015 and up trucks like these intercooler piping kits are meant for can even see more than that.
How's it going to affect my gas mileage, though?
It's not going to affect, it's actually going to increase it.
I'm going to get more power and I'm going to get gas mileage?
Absolutely, it's almost a no-brainer on these trucks.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah. Got that.
How often do you get more horsepower and better gas mileage? So what are you attaching there, the MAP sensor?
It's the factory mass airflow sensor.
Mass airflow sensor.
Yep, yep, and they did it nice. It's underneath the pipe. That way you can
Hide it a little bit.
hide it a little bit and see the nice aluminum kit that they made.
Well, we've got just a little bit more of this installation left. We'll be back in just a minute with more Performance TV.
This edition of Performance TV is being brought to you by Magic Creeper, ready rain or shine. Z-Max, tested, trusted performance. Knoxville Performance and Dyno Tuning Center, need for speed. And by Stage 8, the world's best locking fastener.
Welcome back to Performance TV. We've got Rob from Nally Diesel helping us out installing our injection system here. We use a little bit of blaster on our rubber parts to slip them on a little bit quicker. Now we're getting ready to put on our air filter. And I know she got this screen right here I haven't seen before.
It's actually a pre-filter. The filter we're running today is a dry filter, so the pre-filter is just a little added filtration.
I see. And a wet filter, you just spray on oil?
Yeah,
But
most of
that
them come
restricts our oil.
pre-oiled, but I just personally prefer the dry filter setup, have a little bit better luck out of them.
Yeah, it seems like it get dirty faster if you put the oil on it, and then it would restrict your flow.
Absolutely.
So that's a nice little thing, and that all comes with a kit too, huh?
Yes, it does.
All right, is there anything I can do over here? I just got to wait for you, right?
We just get a couple of the boots going, get a couple
Okay.
pipes going on. So we're going to use a little
Good.
PV
All right.
in this pipe here.
Cool, little blaster. Let's see, I think you needed a screwdriver for that. No, got lucky, sweet.
PV help to go right in.
All right. Here, you want me to I'll mess with this.
Okay, yeah, start getting the other pipes going.
See if I can pop it down there. And this right here, this is going into our cooler right here, right?
Yes, this is the charge air cooler pipe. It comes out of the turbo into the water to air cooler. And then this very last pipe we'll be putting on is coming out of the cooler back into our Y, into the intake runners.
I see. So the turbo gets it so hot because the turbo's being spun by the exhaust.
Correct.
And so we got to cool that down.
Yes.
So the colder the air, the better your compression and explosion in the cylinder, right?
Absolutely. Yep. And Ford did a great job with their water to air cooler. Much more efficient than the original air to air coolers on the front of the trucks.
What are those two ports for?
A bunch of things actually. If you want to run some kind of sensor, like a water meth kit injection port you could put in there.
Huh.
Anything you'd like to spray, into your intake. But just kind of leave the option open for you. Comes with bungs to plug them in case you don't have anything to, put in there. So.
All right. I need to move that clamp up pretty far. All right, so we're just about done as soon as I can get this one clamp set up, huh? So what do we got to do next?
Next step is to load our custom tunes into the truck.
Ah, see?
We got the SCT X4 here, just one of the options. It comes with pre-programmed tunes, but when you install this kit and you get rid of the throttle body, you need custom tuning, which we can upload onto this. So it's very self-explanatory. Plug it into the truck in the OBD2 port. It walks you right through it. You select what custom tune you want. You initiate the programming, and you walk away and let it go.
Okay, I can't wait to get this thing on the road and see how it lights up. But before we do that, check this out.
This week, Z-Max Micro-lubricant MINUTE. Tommy, we've talked about using it in our everyday vehicles, our trucks, our diesels, our boats, our planes. Is there something I may have forgot?
I got a good example of something you forgot about. I have a power washer. I let it set all winter. I drag it out every spring. It won't start. I pull and I pull and I pull and I pull and it won't start.
Come up with new words.
There's a reason why. Because all the varnish is built up in the carburetor, through the fuel system of it. And one thing you might have forgot about, sitting there all winter, the oil has drained to the bottom. The rings are going to be stuck in the cylinder wall. Z-Max Micro-lubricant, it penetrates the metal. It's in there. It's not going to return to the crankcase or to the sump area of your engine. It's going to stay in the metal. So when you do that cold start, or if it's been sitting all winter,
right,
whether it be your power washer, your weed eater, no matter what it is, it'll do 2-cycle and 4-cycle. It'll penetrate the metal, make that spring startup a lot easier.
Oh my gosh, and be able to get out there and get the stuff done. And then when you're putting it away, you know it's going to fire up a lot easier the next time around, whether it's brand new,
right,
whether you've had it for many, many years. The time is now to go ahead and start using the Z-Max product.
Right, because those things they're pesky, they're expensive, and you want to take care of them. So why not use it right off the bat? You have a mixture, it's not going to be as much, obviously, because there's not as much lubricant.
Smaller engine.
That's right. So use it from the start and make that weed eater or power lawnmower or the power washer start a lot easier.
And save your arm. Save your arm. And you can save money too. Check out the rebates that Z-Max is offering right now and find out more about the product online at zmax.com.
Well, we promised you a test drive, and test drive we deliver. Let's hit this and see what she does. Well, that's taking off.
Definitely feel the horsepower increase. Much better throttle response. I'd say it's a win-win with this one.
Definitely 100 horsepower. You can feel 100 horsepower. Well, that's all the time we got this week on Performance TV. We'll see you next time. Watch out for the cops, man.